Nepal is located in the southern of Himalaya mountain. There is a trekking paradise. You may enjoy the famous Annapurna Base Camp or Everest Base Camp. Kathmandu is the best destination to explore India and Tibet Cultural. However, you should know about the updated travel restrictions and apply for the arrival visa before your departure. If you want to have more detail about transport to destination, things to prepare, etc., please visit our website www.delhigtedoutdoors.com. This video includes the information of apply for the health visa. Please watch it to the end. If you like the content of this video, please subscribe, comment, like and share. Click the small bell to update our video. Hiking paradise in Nepal. Mount Everest Base Camp. Everest Base Camp trekking is one of the most anticipated and best trekking in Nepal. Just only the name Mount Everest is exciting. On this 130-kilometer trail, you will experience incredible natural scenery, villages and monasteries and unique culture through the mountains. Although technically not as difficult as the name, high altitude can make long journeys challenging even for some of the healthiest people. It is recommended to take a full 12 to 13 days to complete. Take a very small plane from Kathmandu to Lukla town to start the trek. You can go trekking with or without Sherpa guidance. If you are hiking without a guide, please leave early to ensure that you have enough time to get to the next accommodation. Along the way, you can buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a lower price in the hotel, but to avoid stopping too long at the lunch time, please bring some snacks or lunch. If you have a few more days of free time, consider hiking to Lake Gokyo. These clear blue lakes, located in the valleys next to them, will never let you down. You must conquer the challenging Chola Pass, which is one of the most terrifying mountain passes in Nepal. A guide is necessary for trekking through the Chola Pass, especially if it is snowing or freezing. This route also adds to the long journey through the glacier, which is difficult to navigate in some places, and it is too dangerous without a guide. They rely on people who support the tourism industry to add less worry and fun to your hiking trips. Annapurna Circuit. Annapurna Circuit is another popular trekking route in Nepal. This beautiful and challenging route takes 14 days to complete and has a total length of 260 kilometers. The highest point is Thorong La Pass at an altitude of 5,400 m, which requires a climb of 1,685 m. The trek starts in Basaisahar and ends in Nepal. You can take a bus or a jeep from Kathmandu or Pokhara to Besi Shahar. You can plan your route based on time, and 7 days is the shortest time. In this case, start at Jagat and end at Machhendranath or Jimsum. However, less than 7 days is risky because you may not have enough time to adjust to Thorong La Pass. Annapurna Base Camp. The Annapurna Base Camp Trail is a great choice in the Annapurna region of the Himalayas, passing through the heart of the Himalayas, with magnificent scenery. The trek ends at Annapurna Base Camp at the foot of the most dangerous mountain in the world. Head to the lakeside town of Pokhara as a base for trekking, about an 8-hour drive from Kathmandu. From there, the starting point of the trek, Nepal, is only an hour's drive from Pokhara. The hike takes about 7 to 12 days. This 115-kilometer long route has a maximum altitude of 4,130 m, and includes an early morning hike to Poon Hill, which has amazing scenery. It is beautiful all year round. For the large amount of snow from November to January and the feeling of a real mountainous area, please bring enough warm layers and good quality sleeping bags. In summer, you can see beautiful flowers and green plants. You need a TIMS card and a CAP ticket to complete the hike. Please prepare a passport-sized photo. Manaslu Circuit Trek. If you want to escape the crowds of the Everest and Annapurna regions, but want incredible scenery, Manaslu Circuit Trek is your best choice. You will cycle around Manaslu, the 8th highest peak in the world, for a period of 14 days. It started in the jungle and climbed more than 5,000 meters over the Khao Lak Pass. Along the river, past spectacular waterfalls and iconic suspension bridges. The real attraction is the unique opportunity to experience Tibetan culture. The Manaslu area borders Tibet, and the local people have a higher degree of identification with Tibetan heritage than with Nepalese culture. Take a 10-hour bus ride from Kathmandu to Arkath Bazaar and start the trek. It ends in Besi Sehar. Manaslu Circuit Trek is perfect for those off-the-beaten-track experiences who desire to combine epic high-altitude scenery with a unique cultural experience. Ghandruk Trek. Ghandruk Trek is suitable for short-distance hikers at low altitude. The scenery along Ghandruk is beautiful, passing through picturesque rice fields, forests, and stone steps to Ghandruk village. You can enjoy the magnificent view of the southern mountains of Annapurna. The best time is from mid-September to May, when the sky is clear. The Ghandruk Trek takes 3 to 4 days. The trek does not exceed 2,000 meters above sea level, and there is no difficult ascent or descent. There are tea houses and villages on the trails. You don't have to worry about bringing food and water, but you should bring enough clothes for a 3-day hike and a sleeping bag. There are blankets in the tea house and it will be very cold at night. Seto Machhendranath Temple. A hidden gem in Kathmandu is located between Tamil and Kathmandu Durbar Square. This temple, built in the 17th century, attracts Hindus and Buddhists, and it enshrines the god Seto Machhendranath. Buddhists believe that he is a human form, Avalokitesvara, that represents the compassion of the Buddhas. Hindus believe that he is the incarnation of the Hindu Shiva. In addition, there is a mysterious Western female statue in the courtyard, surrounded by candles, facing the temple. Kathmandu Durbar Square. Durbar Square is just a few steps away from Tamil and is the second most visited place in Kathmandu. It is one of the 3 Durbar Squares in the Kathmandu Valley, all of which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Some buildings collapsed in the 2015 earthquake, showing the spectacular architecture and skills of Noor's craftsmen. However, as the area is slowly being rebuilt, there are still a series of Buddhist and Hindu holy sites and temples, courtyards, former royal palaces, pagodas, and statues that are worth visiting. Old Freak Street. After arriving in the area, be sure to visit Freak Street, a small street south of the square. As early as the 1960s and 1970s, this street was a famous area where hippies flocked to Nepal. Mainly government-run cannabis shops, attracting hippies from all over the world. Until the government began to issue strict regulations on the appearance and dress requirements of tourists. After such regulations, the hippie movement in Nepal disappeared in the late 1970s. However, the traditional form of tourism quickly replaced hippie tourism. Today, this street looks no different from other streets in Kathmandu, full of shops, cheap hotels, trekking agencies, souvenir stalls, etc. Swayambhunath, a.k.a. monkey temple. Located on the top of a hill overlooking the city, it is one of the best sites in Kathmandu. The temple is named after the sacred monkeys who live here. The core of the temple complex is the domed stupa that represents the earth, which dates back to the 5th century and is surrounded by beautifully decorated shrines. The 13-story structure at the top symbolizes the 13 stages of nirvana, and the prayer wheel surrounds the bottom of the stupa. The whole area is a bit chaotic, mixed with images of Buddhism and Hinduism, the scent of prayer flags, butter candles everywhere, and the famous 6-character mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. It takes 365 steps to reach the temple, and you will feel a burning sensation in every muscle of your leg. However, as a reward, you will get an incredible 360-degree view of Kathmandu. Boudhanath Stupa. Not far from the Pashupatinath temple, you will find the largest spherical stupa in Nepal in the Boudhanath Stupa, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. The tranquility of the pagoda and seeing the spiritual side of the city. Lined up with Buddhist prayer flags, the white painted dome and the Buddha's all-seeing eye are a fascinating landscape. In the 1950s, when refugees from Tibet, China came to Kathmandu to live and settle in the area around the stupa became a religious site for Tibetan Buddhists. At sunset, Tibetan Buddhists circle the stupa, chant, and turn the prayer wheel. Boudhanath Stupa. Patan Durbar Square. Patan Durbar Square is the third square in the Kathmandu Valley, located outside the capital. Nevertheless, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is still one of the best places to visit in Kathmandu. Patan Durbar Square was built between the 14th and 18th centuries and also has typical Nivari wood carvings. Wander among Buddhist and Hindu temples, visit the Patan Museum, and admire the idols around the square. It is more relaxed than Kathmandu Durbar Square. There are no endless souvenir stalls. Bardiya National Park. Bardiya National Park is located in the westernmost corner of Nepal. It is very remote, actually closer to Delhi, India than to Kathmandu, and its isolated location protects nature and wildlife. If you want to visit an almost unspoiled wilderness area, Bardiya is the place for you. It is one of the best places in the world to watch wild Bengal tigers, rhinos, and Asian elephants. Other wild animals include many birds, deer, and monkeys. Bardiya has some excellent eco-huts and homestays, and can arrange many activities such as jungle trekking, jeep tours, and even rafting in the park. For your own safety, tour guides are indispensable. They are very professional and provide a wealth of information about nature. The rafting trip is very calm, but provides close encounters with crocodiles and the opportunity to see Ganges dolphins. Most of the villages near the entrance of the park belong to the indigenous Tharu people. Cycling around to see the beautiful countryside and the rural lifestyle is just as meaningful as visiting the national park. Koshi Tappu. Koshi Tappu is a wetland nature reserve located in eastern Nepal. It is an ideal place to relax and rejuvenate after hiking the Annapurna Trek. The reserve covers an area of 175 square kilometers and was originally established to protect the last remaining wild Asian buffalo. You can see Ganges dolphins in the Koshi River, and birdwatchers can spot about 485 recorded bird species. On the edge of the nature reserve, you can visit a village of Tharu and observe their traditional way of life. The Koshi Tappu Wildlife Camp on the edge of the reserve is a great place to stay for exploration. The camp has 20 fixed safari tents and a restaurant serving delicious Nepalese cuisine. They also offer various activities, including bird watching walks, jeep tours and rafting. Arrival visa and traveling to Nepal. The regulations for the foreigners traveling to Nepal. 1. You must have PCR test certificate showing negative results and taken not earlier than 72 hours before their boarding, or the certificate of full dose of vaccination. This provision will not be application for the children below 5 years of age. 2. You must bear all the expenses of COVID-19 tests, hotel quarantine, hospitalization, remaining in isolation, etc. 3. If any symptom of COVID-19 is found or suspected, you must make COVID-19 test as soon as possible and remain in isolation if found positive. 4. Tourists can stay in hotel quarantine while other persons who are residing in Nepal can go to home quarantine provided they fulfill the requirements provided above. 5. All persons traveling to Nepal must observe hygiene protocols approved by the Ministry of Health and Population of Nepal during their stay in Nepal. Arrival visa. The Nepalese government has decided to reinstate visas on arrival for those who received the full dose of the vaccine at least 14 days before arriving in Nepal. The following regulations apply to visas on arrival. 1. In addition to the regular visa-related documents, visitors need to submit the following documents. The COVID-19 vaccination certificate shows a complete vaccination, and the last vaccination was at least 14 days before arrival in Nepal. COVID-19 test report, RT-PCR, Gene Expert, True NAAT or WHO accredited test, showing negative result done within last 72 hours of boarding from the first airport or, if the traveler is entering through land border, taken within 72 hours of entry. This report will not required for the children below 5 years. Copies of permits for mountain climbing, trekking, and other activities that require permits, if applicable. Confirm the hotel booked in Nepal. A printed copy of the online arrival form for international travelers, completed by logging into ccmc.gov.np. 2. All foreigners arriving in Nepal must be tested for COVID-19 at the entry point in Nepal. If he/she is found to be positive for COVID-19, he/she should go to any isolation center or hospital designated by the Ministry of Health and Population. However, if there is no such testing facility at the entry point, passengers must be tested for COVID-19 anywhere near their hotel and remain isolated in the hotel until the test result is negative. 3. Passport holder of those countries that are eligible for visa on arrival in Nepal can avail this facility. If your country is not listed for visa on arrival in Nepal, you must take prior visa to enter Nepal. For the travelers without full dose of vaccination, please visit our website or official website to find the detail inquiry. If you like our channel, please like and share, subscribe. And don't forget to press the small bell beside, so that we can notify you of new videos. If you have any comments or what kind of video you want us to make, please leave a message to us.